Juggalos, Juggalettes, this is Big Ian coming at you with a new interview with one of the hot new artists tearing up the underground here, Political Assassin.
What's going on, Ian?
Nothing much, man. How are you? Now, for those of you who don't know, I want to give you a quick background. Political Assassin has made appearances in a recent issue of Murder Dog magazine. That was the one that we posted on FLH a couple months back. Had Outkast on the cover. Was also doing stories on tech and a host of other underground greats. And he actually this past week did a show in Detroit with the ROC and King Gordy. Just a little bit of background for those of you who don't know who PA is. So with all that in mind, we're just gonna dive right in. So, Assassin, first of all, tell us what your stage name, Political Assassin, means.
Political Assassin, I came up with that when I was in high school, probably around my senior year. And that's when I started getting into, like, researching politics a lot. It was pretty interesting to get all this new information because, you know, it's a very limited amount of info that you get in school, very short scope of information you get. And somehow I was never content with that. I don't know. I just was never, just didn't seem like enough. So, you know, during that time, I just went through a lot of phases of starting to write lyrics together. And it's kind of funny, like when I look at some of the stuff I wrote back then, I'm like, wow, this stuff is not too good. But, you know, that's how it started. I started reading up a lot about history, about political stuff. And, you know, Political Assassin comes from thinking about these stories that I read. You know, every time I read these stories and I check out news channels, even now, it's just like so much bullshit. I can barely listen to it, let alone imagine that some of the things that they're saying are true. So I felt like the politics was always something something of interest to me. And Political Assassin, to assassinate the dirty politics, to assassinate the state of mind that says I'm not going to look into something because that might cause me to look at a situation differently or to look at something that happened differently.
Okay. So when and where did you actually start working with music?
I started working with music. A couple friends over here in my area in Philadelphia here. You know, I started off with like a Zoom rhythm track 1, 2, 3, just bare minimum equipment that you could possibly use to make something. And you know, from there I just started messing around a little bit, seeing if I could make some beats. The rapping part was kind of came naturally, you know. It was the first stuff I released wasn't very difficult to put on. You know, it wasn't lyrically it was good, but the flow wasn't really that great, and you know, everything like that. But I just started out with the minimal equipment, and the more I did it, you know, the more I liked it. There was a time gap in between when I started back up because it's been about 10 years since I've been writing stuff and figuring out how to make beats and, you know, trying to get everything together. But it's been about maybe 1.5 to 2 years that I've taken things a little more seriously to the point where I want to expose my music further.
Okay. So with all that said, can you actually give us a rundown on what your music is about and what makes you unique as an artist?
My music, I try to make my music political, but that's not really all it's about. Really, if I could do something with the music, it would be to affect some sort of change. You know, right after 9/11 and everything, I think that I think a lot of Muslims got scared. They got you know, they just got scared and they didn't want to say anything. And it's sad to say, but I feel as though our elders failed us. You know, no one was standing up. Very few people were standing up. Only guy that really did stand up was probably like Immortal Technique, and he's not even Muslim, but he did it because he doesn't like oppression. And so that's what my music is about. It's about shedding light to some of these oppressive things that are happening. You know, it's not enough to just say one thing or name your song political. That's not enough. It's not enough to say that your music's political unless you're trying to put some information out there that no one's heard about. That's when it gets political. That's when a message is going to be reached. So that's what I want to do with my music. You know, try to affect some sort of change, get people to realize that there's a lot of bullshit that you got to uncover. I mean, I didn't understand a lot of stuff that was going on until I started listening to Mortal Technique, to be honest. Before that, you know, I knew some stuff, but, you know, my brother was like, check this guy out. I'm like, holy shit. And it got to the point where, like, you know, I'm listening to this music and I'm jotting down notes like, what is this? What's that? So I'd go online, I'd check it out, and I'd do some research. So, that's what it is. It's trying to make some sort of change, but at the same time having some sort of fun too. I'm not super serious 100% of the time. I'm usually smiling and laughing most of the time.
Okay, and now you just referenced Immortal Techniques specifically, but with this, strong politically charged music that you're talking about, who were some of the other artists who you really looked up to and influenced your music styles, as well as maybe people you'd be interested in working with?
Definitely, definitely. Probably, I always liked KRS-One. I felt he was extremely relevant for a very long time. Then when I started, getting into Detroit music, I was happy to see that certain people were getting political somewhat. Prozac's Project Dead Man. I like the album, but, I really liked his new album that came out, that Tales from the Sick. I think he was really trying to say something, you know, but it's here and there, like I said, I like a lot of Detroit music because it gets, it's a different element. It's kind of like they say it's a violent element, but at the same time, it's Jay-Z and Beyonce that are Illuminati. It's Rick Ross that's a Freemason. It's not anyone from Detroit that's actually into Satanism. You know what I mean? I guess there's people that put a stage, they put a show out there, but I think that music is a lot about telling people how you feel with extreme emotions, and that's normal, man. Everybody has those. So as far as working with people, I would really like to work with a lot of people, but it's just, it's here and there. I would love to work with Paris from Gorilla Funk. That dude is awesome. That guy's been putting it down for a long time.
Okay, and now to clarify, now that we're kind of in the midst of things, now, do you actually consider yourself like a horrorcore, wicked shit genre rapper?
I don't. I wouldn't say that because I'd be lying to myself, and I'd be putting myself in front of people that are, that would probably second guess me saying that. Like, why would he even say that? I would say no. I would say that my music is hip hop, political hip hop, and I don't think it's that far-fetched to say that my music would connect with people that like, acid rap, wicked shit, hardcore, because realistically, all that stuff is about expressing pain, how horrific life can be, and telling you right now, politics is as horrific as it can get. Some of the most disgusting information that you get from the news is news, but if you look at it in the right way, it's actually like it's like reading an obituary, man. It's some very disgusting stuff. And, once people hear it, a lot of people don't like hearing the truth, whatever it may be. It's very hard to face it. So when you face some reality and truth about things that are going on in the world that people want to keep hidden, that's horror in its finest element. That doesn't get any more sick than that. So, I think that it's easy to merge those two genres and have people understand where I'm coming from.
Okay, all right, awesome. So, with that in mind, your debut album entitled "Built from Struggle" actually just came out this past June, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for everybody who's been listening to this interview thus far and has, been intrigued or wants to find out more about you, tell them first of all, where they can get your debut album, "Built from Struggle," and what they can expect to hear out of it.
Okay, Built from Struggle, you can get that on CD Baby, iTunes. It's on CD Universe, Red Drum Media. All you got to do is go to my website, www.thepoliticalassassin.com. Everything is spelled, and just go on there. We've got a bunch of stuff. Got the interview from Murder Dog. You can get the album from wherever you want. I recommend getting it from like Red Rum or CD Baby. They sell the cheapest. But yeah, that's where you can get the album from. And the music speaks for itself. There's a lot of diverse stuff in there, a lot of different kinds of production. I did it all myself, mixed it all myself, did all the artwork. Basically, I've done everything. And if you're looking to find an album, if you're looking to find an album that's strictly one style, you may not like it. But then again, at the same time, some of my favorite albums always come with different styles, different songs, different concepts, and that's really what I tried to bring to it. You'll find stuff with Gilly the Kid on there that's just straight up East Coast. You'll find stuff on there like story stuff like ICP used to do, which, about government shit cover-ups. So I think there's something for everybody in there, and that's what I like to do. I love Esham's new album, the suspended animation, because it has so much different shit in it, and that's what I want to do.
Okay. Now, is there any time that your fans will be able to catch you out on the road in the near future? Like, are you doing any shows right now, or things, like any sort of in stores, press releases, anything where
Uh,
your fans could come out and see you?
right now, it's kind of difficult, Ian, because I'm still paying to be at shows. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard for me to come out. A lot of the shows that go on with, especially with Detroit music, is always in the Midwest, either Detroit, Illinois, or that kind of area. I'm over here in the East Coast, and not much happens over here, regarding that kind of music. But just I would love to go to any shows. It's just that it's a money factor. I spent almost $1,000 coming to Detroit, and didn't really make a cent there. But I wanted to go reach that market. I wanted to go see ROC, who I've been listening to since I was a teenager, and I got a chance to give him my CD, which was really cool. But I have an interview with Down Low Magazine coming up in October. You can go check that out as well. And I'm always looking for the next show to go to. So if anybody wants to show me some love and help me get down there financially a little bit, I'd love to be there, man. It's not a problem. I love to meet people. I went to Detroit, and I had my Phillies hat on and represent Philly, and most people were pretty cool over there. So I would love to be anywhere and everywhere. It's just a matter of trying to get my music more exposed, and that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Okay, with that said, you just mentioned you said you spent close to $1,000 for this entire trip to go do this show in
Yeah.
Detroit recently. Do you feel that the exposure and the experience that you got from doing this show was worth the financial strain that it put on you?
I always go out there with an open heart. I've been through my share of a whole lot of bullshit, and I don't really portray that image of going out there and putting, a lot of people go out there and they got to always, put their macho attitude and all that shit out there. I don't do that. I keep my experiences with myself, and I'm just a very open person to talk to. I love the fact that a lot of people over there, loved what I did. After the set, people were like, "That was really good." And these were juggalos. I didn't expect them to really, like my music, because the stuff I do is political. But a lot of people knew of who Immortal Technique was and that kind of thing. And so I was really happy about that. I'm glad that a lot of different styles can exist within that community of people who listen to this music. So in that aspect, I think it was worth it. However, and the other aspect of financially and, not having CDs set up for artists to sell and stuff like that, that was the bad part of it. But I'm going to take the good out of it. I spent money to come down there. I wanted to do this. So because of the fact that I came down there with my heart and did it and, just went out of my pocket, I'm hoping that after people, maybe read this interview or learn a little bit more about me, that, maybe they'll show a little love and have me down there, and maybe it won't be as much of a strain on my pocket this time.
Gotcha, man. All right. Well, I think that covers all the stuff I had for you today. Is there
Cool.
anything else you'd like to say to all your fans listening to this right now?
I'd just like to say that, I'm just a regular guy. You can approach me easily. I have no ego, and I never will. I'm doing this music and sending a message because there's not too many people, especially a lot of Muslims out there, who are doing anything or saying anything. And we always get a bad rap. But I'm the type dude that I'm open to everybody, man. I don't really care who you are, where you come from, anything like that. As long as you're a nice person, you're a good person, me and you can be good friends, man. But I'd just like to say to everybody that, keep in mind what I'm doing. It's political stuff, but I think at the end of the day, man, you can't just listen to one style. I'll be listening to music, and I'll be listening to a nice TCD, and I'll be like, damn, this is going a little too hard. Okay, I want to put something else in. Put in a visionary CD. So I think everybody's got a lot of different styles that they want to listen to depending on their mood. So if you feel the mood, like, all right, I've listened to too much crazy shit or gangster shit or whatever it is, pop my CD in, and it's a perfect blend of everything you want.
All right, awesome, man. Well, on that note, Juggalos, Juggalettes, Political Assassin, Big Ian, FegoLovers.net. We're out.
Thank you very much.